Hi everyone! Welcome to your newest addition to this channel. It is Good Morning Tea, where Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I would read everybody and inspire you with some oracle cards. So how about let's make your tea now? Hi everyone, welcome to your Vedic Sidereal Astrology general prediction. Just to give you guys a heads up, this is a general prediction and that your Mahadasha and your Antardasha will play a significant role before we go through the transit. We also practice Jyotish, meaning this is to enlighten. We are going to go through each of the zodiac, but again, this is a general prediction, so we do advise for you guys to consult an astrologer if you are going to a specific dasha in your life before you can use this prediction. We will try as much to be as accurate as it is still going to be showing some effectivity with the general energies that you might be encountering for this particular month. Without further ado, we're gonna start your reading from each of the zodiac. All right, Libra, so let's begin. We have Dr. Pai over here for our forecast. Take it away, Dr. Pai.
Thank you and namaste everybody. And so we're doing Virgo. We're doing
Libra ascendant,
Libra,
Libra moon. Yes.
Libra ascendant and moon for the month of February.
Yes.
Okay? And this month, for all the Librans, Venus will be transiting into their house of hard work and also, obstacles as well, but it's exalted. So if there is any task that you have been wanting to do for a long period of time, you've always been facing obstacles, then this is the time to de-link and to help, serve yourself better. So this month is really going to help you with that. Also, what I see is for all the Librans, the period between 24th of February to 2nd of March is going to be a transition because Venus is going to move from the 6th house to the 7th house. So if there is anything that has been stuck in your life, then expect that it's going to move towards the end of the month, whenever it's moving from the 6th house to the 7th house. So all the obstacles will be over by then. So also when you see for all the Librans, you see that the first week of February, you see Mars is going to be in their second house, and Mars will be transiting the Gandanta. The Gandanta means it's kind of a karmic knot, or the space which has a karmic knot. So it's like a knot in a thread, and if you imagine a ring passing through it, when it hits that knot, it kind of you need to untie that knot to move forward. So if the ring represents your life, then you have to make it smoother. So the second house is always associated with family, your resources, and second house is also your expression, your voice, your speech. So these your earnings that you have saved. So these are the places of your life that you might want to untie if there is anything, because it's going to move from there into the third house of courage and your ability and your agreements. So for all the Librans, I think the movement of Mars is going to be very favorable because the seventh house Lord going through the second house. So if there is you wanted to express something to your partner, maybe this is the time. And if you want to include somebody to your family, like you want to get married or you want to get engaged or something, this is a great time for all the Librans. All the banking activities, just make sure that you keep it to the minimal, because Mars is the seventh house lord and also the second house lord, which will be transiting through the Gandanta. So all those things, and also spend more time with your family during this month for Librans. And for also when Librans, when I see your sun, which is your 11th house lord of your gains, is going to be in your fourth house. And it will be transiting during the middle of the month, around the 12th of this month, whenever sun is going to go into the Vedic sidereal Aquarius. So from the fourth house to the fifth house. So there would be a lot of things related to maybe your children, your home affairs, all of that. Some expenses coming might related to this might be seen for all the Librans. And also what I see for all the Librans, maybe there would be some lack of peace of mind because Sun is going to be interacting with Saturn in Capricorn in the fourth house. Fourth house is your comfort. Fourth house is your learnings. So if there is education, there could be some problems in your education at home with your mother, with your basic conveyances, which means your vehicles or your car or whatever. So these areas will definitely be showing something because fourth house is also your private life. So just guard against your private life.
Now, Dr. Pai, one thing I've observed with Venus exalted, because they're Venus ruled, I feel like most of the Libran, like for example, with their health, like this is a time that they might go shopping for a new outfit for the gym. Like think like they wanna look good, even doing well. Exercising. This is also a perfect time for them to because it's like either they settle their debts or they're gonna accrue debts because Venus does splurge, and it's that energy that I'm seeing with exaltation from the sixth house. Now, Dr. Ray, what about the Gandanta from Mars from their speech going to their third house, which can also affect their relationship with the siblings and friends?
Yeah, Mars is a significator of younger siblings in Vedic astrology. So be watchful because Mars is also the seventh house lord and the second house lord for Librans. So what I want to say to you is there are any agreements that you want to sign, be very careful during this period because the transition is going to happen around, and you see that this period is between 2nd of February to about 12th of February. So after that, you see something related to your younger siblings. And also, let me tell you, the third house is in Vedic astrology, we call it the house of fortunes for your marriage because the ninth house from your seventh house. So, of course, there would be some things that might be beneficial for all those people who are married because it's the seventh house lord, second house lord coming there. But also watch your finances because Mars is about paying the bills that you have. Okay, so don't accrue your bills, pay off all your bills that you have that you've been accumulating. But also, what I see, it's a good time to go out and spend some time with your brothers and your sisters and your family members.
Now, Dr. Pai, what about the, having this, K2 is still there and Jupiter is there under third house. And of course, accessing from Rahu, which is for them in their, is that 7, 8, 9, in their 10th house. So they have this third and 10th axis. What do you see there? Because Mars is going to step into the third, which is they're going to have so much, how to say this, will, to take action because this is where we, third house is where we make actions in our life. And then it can also concern their work. They're going to be very, very energetic.
Yeah, so this is between the axis of third and ninth house because Rahu is in the ninth house. And
Ninth, third, yes, Dr.
yeah, yeah, the third and the ninth house where this activity is going to happen, this axis. Third house is all about your communication, your expressions, your including, it's good for some people if, because Mars is going to move there, there is Ketu there, when Mars and Ketu coming together in the third house can also lead to some sale of some property. If you're expecting some sale of property, that can happen because third house is always loss for the fourth house. Third house is 12th from the fourth of loss of property. So sale of property, some agreement that can happen. Also, for a lot of people, I want to say, this is the best time for Librans to start publishing, writing, blogging, because third house is also, writing.
Yes, creative. Yes.
And Mars in Vedic astrology represents largely your ink, or a needle.
Yes.
So, I see a lot of
The
people.
hands.
Yeah, with the hands, absolutely. Painting, I see tattooing as well, because third arm is arms, third house is arms, and Mars is the needle. So people would want to go for a tattoo done.
Yes, and Mars is blood at the same time. So it's all the recipe to get maybe some sacred symbol that they want adorn their body. They're gonna get inspired and to do that. Now, with having Mercury, just first let's focus on Mercury retrograde on their fifth house. And fifth house is if they have kids, their progeny, and also like if they're dating. What can you see there, Dr. Pat?
See, fifth house is going to be tricky for the Librans, is because it's also your ninth house lord, Mercury, and the 12th house lord of losses. So Mercury is going to go retrograde, towards the end of the month. Maybe, it's retrograde from 17th of February to about 9th of March. That's the period when do not speculate, because fifth house is the house for speculations. And 12th house is a lot of house losses. So you might lose in your speculative endeavors. So always be very careful about that. But fifth house is also your pleasure pursuits. It's also about your intelligence and your creativity. So those areas, definitely Mercury is, a planet of intelligence and wisdom. So wisdom is Jupiter, but intelligence. So that's why I think you can make some very good creative work that might be interested in love affairs as well. So you can see a lot of things brewing in the first half of the month, but later half of the month, be very careful, because that's also the house of children for some of them, but also for romanticism might not be the best time, with the ninth house lord of fortune and luck going retrograde there.
Now, last question, Dr. Pai. Venus in their 6, but it also aspects their 12. Does it aspect Dr. Pai? No. No. Oh yeah, it does, right? Does it look into their 12?
Aspecting the 12.
Yes, and it is exalted also on the 12. So is there a travel that you're seeing for the Librans? Or losses, and is that what they're gonna accrue? Luxury.
So I think, yeah, there could be some people who will be traveling also, which is possible because of Venus aspecting the 12th house. But Venus in the 12th house for Librans gets debilitated, which means it's weaker.
Oh, that's true. Yes. Oh, that's true. Yes.
So it's where it's sitting in the 6th house. It's very, very strong. So Venus, I've always seen, helps you with bringing in flowers at home, aromatherapy.
Yes.
The color white is very good. Silver is something you want to bring, a silver thing for your home. Maybe a good thing, because silver always associated with Venus. So anything to do with home decor, because it shows the third house from the fourth house, the 6th house.
Yes. So it's more of like fixing the home and making yourself comfortable.
Exactly. Okay. And bringing in a lot of themes which are white in color.
White color. Okay, so there you have it, Libra, for your monthly for February. Again, we do this every month, so I want to see you guys again next March. Okay, so click subscribe and like, and everything you need is in the description box. Have a wonderful, wonderful February ahead. Bye, guys.